In this video, I've bundled the top 12 interview questions and suitable answers after reviewing countless of YouTube videos and articles, so I can now show you the best results without endless theory or generic answers. Now you can expect ready-to-use tips and template examples for your upcoming job interview. Now if you want to skip to a specific Q&A, I've put the timestamps in the description for your convenience. Okay, without further ado, let's start with the first question. Can you tell me more about yourself, or tell me about yourself? So the key here is to inform the reader about your current or previous role, the scope of it, and for example a recent accomplishment. Seek or transition into what you are looking for next, and why you are interested in this particular job. Now don't talk about your personal or family life, and do tailor your response to the job description. Now the second question is, how did you hear about this position? Start off by saying, although I wasn't actively looking for a job change, or I am actively job searching right now, followed by where you found the job posting. Now if you got referred to by a mutual connection, you could write something along the lines of, I was excited to find about the job posting from my friend who works in a certain department. After that you can continue by saying, I reviewed the job description and I noticed then something specific that caught your attention, so I immediately applied to learn more about the opportunity and see if it's a good match. Now don't say you are not sure or that you don't remember it, but do show that you are being careful in your job search. As for the third question, why do you want to work here? Now the answer to this question should prove that you did your research. You can point out something positive you noticed about the product or service that they offer, and/or what makes you excited to fill this particular position. Your answer should leave the impression of someone with a growth mindset. Now don't turn into a monologue about why this is the only job you want, but do mention something unique about the company to stand out. Okay, the fourth question is, why are you leaving your current job? Now this really is a tricky question and we can divide it into several scenarios. Number one being, you left the company for further growth and new perspectives. Now if they ask you what kind of change you are referring to, your answer should focus on a new challenge or opportunity rather than a negative experience you've had. Okay, scenario number two, you left the company but not because of performance reasons. Now this is usually the result of a company that is downsizing and cost-cutting measures are implemented. And make sure to clearly explain that it has nothing to do with you or your performance. As for the third scenario, you were fired due to poor performance reasons. In this case, you should come up with a plausible narrative. Explain that certain expectations didn't line up with your strengths, or you were replaced by someone that has more experience in a particular field that has nothing to do with your field of interest and the job that you are applying for right now. Okay, so don't put down or say negative things about your ex-boss or company, but do focus on answers that show your growth mindset. Okay, that brings us to the fifth question. What is your weakness? Now you can mention a personality trait, followed by a weakness that can be fixed, corrected, or improved on. Show your awareness and proactive attitude towards improvement. Now don't mention personal traits like being impatient or laziness, because these are difficult to change. Now don't mention an obvious strength in disguise like, I'm kind of a workaholic or perfectionist. Also, don't say that you don't have a weakness or that you've never thought about it. These answers show your lack of awareness. Okay, let's go to question number 6. What are your strengths? Now what I would recommend you to do is to print and take the job description to your interview. And firstly, sum up some skills from the description that you possess. After that, you inform the reader about a transferable skill, like for example, your problem-solving abilities. A strength of yours that can be applied to each task and makes you more of an irreplaceable candidate. Now keep in mind to not list or ramble about your skills and qualifications. Let's see, question number 7. How do you handle stress? Okay, so start off by saying that you can handle stress or pressure, or mention that you experience some discomfort but learned how to deal with it. And then you give an example. Now break the example into pieces, because it shows your ability to prioritize and communicate effectively. Now don't dwell or say anything negative about yourself, but do provide a real-life example, like that one project, exam or presentation you've done. Okay, that brings us to question number 8. What motivates you? Well, this is such a broad question and easy to misinterpret. Provide an honest and genuine answer that connects with the job role. Make up some sort of narrative where you briefly and clearly explain your motivation. So if it's for example an accountant role, you might want to emphasize your passion for very specific things like Excel, spreadsheets, numbers, etc. Remember, the most important part is how you convey it. So answer the question like you mean it. And don't ramble or confuse the interviewer by sharing too much information. Okay, question number 9. Where do you see yourself in 5 years of time? So for this question, the interviewer wants to know if you are a dependable employee who is staying here for the long term. Now, if you want to give that impression, you should not focus on a different job title or career opportunity, but focus more on the journey you hope to take. Remember, they need to know if you are a loyal employee that is worth investing their time and money in. Then we arrive at question number 10. What are your salary expectations? Alright guys, so this is also a very tricky question, but here's a suitable example answer. So if they ask you after this answer what you would consider as a reasonable offer, you can answer an example that looks something like this. And if they keep on asking, you could provide them with a wide price range. Now with salary related questions, you should avoid giving a set amount and try to be as self-assured and confident as possible. Okay, so then we have question number 11. Is there anything else you would like us to know? Now if you feel that the interview has gone well and you really have nothing to add, it is perfectly fine to answer it like this example. Now, if you feel that there's something positive you can add that the interviewer didn't ask you about, you can answer it as follows. Now bear in mind that you don't need to share something. But if you feel like you need to clarify a previous answer, then you could do so now. But remember to be concise and to the point. Okay, and the last question is, do you have any questions for us? Now it is important to at least ask one question. I mean, they've shown interest in you, so now it's time to show some interest in them. Start off by saying, actually, I do have a question, followed by the question. Now here are some example questions you can ask. Now as you can see, these are questions that cannot be answered by a simple yes or no. Okay, so once you finish the interview, you need to thank them in person. And I would also recommend you to send a thank you note as well, either by email or phone on the same day or the day after. Write something along the lines of, thanks for giving me this opportunity, followed by something nice about the interaction. Okay, so that's it for the top 12 question and answers. Now before I end this video, let me know if it was informative by leaving an emoji with glasses and leave an emoji with sunglasses if you got hired. Now don't forget to check out my other videos on making a resume, cover letter and LinkedIn profile. You can find the links in the description. Now if this video was helpful, then a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Bye!